Next in our topic is arrays. Array is a fixed size sequenced collection of elements of same data type. It is simply a grouping of like type data. So here the emphasis is for same data type. Similar type of data is combined or grouped using the concept array. And each value in an array is element. So if there are five values, we call them as array elements. And they are, if we have two values A and B, we name it A and B. But if there are five array elements, then if the array name is say A, we will represent it with the index like A0, A1, A2, like that. So all the elements will be having the same name of the array, and they are the particular value is chosen based on the index value. Okay, so now let's see what index is. So here the array name is number. Okay, and number is having say 5 values, say 35, 40, 20, 57 and 19. Then we label it like this. So earlier if we need 5 values, how you give it? We can give it like int a, b, c, d, e. So this means a, the value is 35, b, the value is 40. So it has different names, but here what you do is we define an array. And how to define array? Here the name of array is number. So int number, if we write like this, that means number is a variable of data type int. This means it can carry only a single value. Say you can give number is equal to 40, like that. Okay, this is how we give name to a variable. But here in case of an array, we give it, say here the size is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you need an array of size 5, you give like this int number followed by a square bracket where you specify the size. So this is the difference. This is a normal integer, and what is this? This is an integer array. Okay, so integer array means in memory what will happen? Instead of a single location, there will be 5 locations, say, like this. Okay, and the first will be number 0, next will be number 1, up to last will be number 4. So that means if the size is 5, index will start from 0. Okay, so indexing will start from 0 to size minus 1. So if there are total 10 elements, the index will be from 0 to 9 only, size minus 1. Okay, so it will be like this. So number 0, its value will be 35, then 40, 20, 57 and 19. Hope you got a basic idea of an array. So this is a very simple example of an integer array. Okay, just like that, if you need float, how you can give, say, float a in brackets, say 10. This means all the values will be float, and how many values will be there? 10, and it will be in A0 to A9, total 10 values of which type? Float type. So this is the whole concept of array, and these values, they are called index, and this is the name of the array. So this is array name, which is an identifier, and this is the index of the array. Okay, and here you can give the value. So this is how you initialize. There are different ways of initializing the array. You can either give like this. Then this is the syntax. We already checked that. This is the data type, which is a keyword like int or float, and this is variable name followed by size and then a semicolon. So this is the syntax of declaring an array. Example is this. Then character array is called string. Char name 10. That means we have earlier verified two arrays. One is int type and the other is float type. So here this means char name 10. That means it is having 10 elements, and each element will be a character. Okay, so character array is called a string. It declares the name as a character array or string that can hold a maximum of 10 characters. So index will be from 0 to 9. But here one thing is, in case of string, always the last element will be a null character. So that's the only thing that is different from other arrays. In case of character array, the last element will be a null character. So if you have to save 9 characters, then size of array should be 10. One additional space or one additional location is needed for the null character. So well done. Here there is a space. So space is another character. Okay. So what is happening? Well done. Total 8 letters, in between there is a space. So total 9 characters and then null character. So total 10 characters is needed. So you give character array of size 10. When the compiler sees a character string, it terminates it with an additional null character. So the element 10 holds the null character /0. Whenever you declare a character array, we should allow one extra space for the null character. So now you have the basics of an array. So let's proceed with a very simple program. Let's write a program to get 10 numbers from the user and get the sum of the squares. So user will be entering 10 numbers and you have to get the sum of squares of all these 10 numbers. Let's proceed with the program. So we need 10 values from the user. So first is we need to define. So if it is 2 values, we give a comma b like that. But here you need 10 values. So you give it as an array, say arr, and size is 10. So now you have declared an integer array. First step is over. Now you need the values from the user. So we are asking the user to enter the values. Okay, so you are asking the user to enter the values. Then using scanf, we are getting the value. So here what is the difference? If we need a single value, what we normally do? We normally do say ampersand sign. First you need to specify which type it is. So it's %d, comma, ampersand sign, and say a you write. But here you need the values from A0 to A9. So what you have to do is you give AI like that. So when you give I should vary from values 0 to 9. So for int I equals 0, I less than 10, I plus plus. Okay, so I less than 10, that's the condition. So 0 to 9, I plus plus, scanf, %e and AI. So now user can enter the 10 values. And now what we are going to do is, we initially need a variable for calculating the sum of squares. So let's give it as int sum and initialize it to 0. Okay, and you can, whenever the user get the value, along with that you can calculate the sum. So you can write sum equals sum plus, that you can write as sum plus equals a of I. Hope it is clear. So each and every time user enters a value, it is added to. So sorry, this is to calculate the sum of the values. So here we are writing the program to calculate the sum of squares. So it should be like a of I. Okay, so you can give like this. So if we have more than one value, this should be enclosed in a bracket. So you can check the code again. So when user enters the value, first step is that user enters a value, it is saved in the array, and in addition to that, the variable sum is updated by adding the square of this particular value. This is continued when I is 0 till 9. When I is less than 10, this will go on continuing or executing again and again. So once it is out of the loop, some value is updated. So we need to print the value, say printf /n sum of squares of values equals percentage D, and which value should be printed? It is sum. So now the program is complete. Here we have given the variable name is different in different areas, so you can correct that also. Again, this is how we check the error. So we have corrected it, and we will check if it is working. Say 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you have got the value. You can check it if you want. So here you entered how many values? 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Total 10 values you entered, and sum of squares is printed here. Okay. Similarly, if you need to get the cube of the numbers, you can calculate here sum plus equals ARR of I star ARR of I star ARR of I. Or if you are asked to get the sum of elements of the array, you can just give sum plus equals ARR of I. Okay. And why we are writing this statement within the loop? Because when I is equal to 0, within the loop only you will be getting the first element of the array. So because of that, all the manipulations or the calculations should be done within the loop. Okay, then statements written outside the loop will be executed only once. So outside the loop, we have only one thing to do, that is to print the final value. So that is written outside the loop. Hope the program is clear.